Hey guys, Greg Chaplin here, physical therapist and strength and conditioning specialist. In this video, we're going to talk about what to do with a tight, short right psoas that's causing a right lateral pelvic tilt. We're going to briefly explain it here and then jump right into a 4-step exercise progression that you can use to go all the way from the floor up into standing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so we got my buddy Mr. Phibbs here, and I'm going to show you what would happen if we had a tight, short right psoas causing a right lateral pelvic tilt. So just to review, lateral pelvic tilt, so we have one side hiking up relative to the other, and the way that I'm going to describe this here is that the side we're hiking on is the side with the pelvic tilt. So if we have a right lateral pelvic tilt, we have a right side of the hip hiking up relative to this right side of the rib cage. Now in this case, we usually see this right pelvis coming up with or without an additional compensation of the right side of the rib cage also dipping down. Now the reason we're usually using this strategy in the first place is to try to produce a position that allows us to compress the body on that side. So in general terms, this is a force production strategy. Now, one of the muscles that's involved in this position is your right psoas muscle. And what that muscle does in this side-to-side or frontal plane is it brings the spine towards its attachment here on the pelvis. And so when we close that angle and bring them together, we can see we get that right lateral pelvic tilt. Now what this also tends to do is extend this spine forward more on the right than the left, and it tends to turn us back towards that left side. So what we need to do with our exercises is take into account these 3 different positions of extending forward, turning to the left, and hiking up. And we need to reverse engineer some activities that do the opposite of those 3 and then reteach us how to produce force through this right side. So let's check those out. All right, so for this first exercise, we're gonna set up in a position where we're far enough away from the wall so that this right leg can be in a little bit less than 90 degrees of flexion at the hip. And we're gonna have that foot coming back to the point where we can still keep the whole foot flat on the wall, but where we have a little bit of bend at the ankle, a little bit of bend at the knee. Now from here, we're gonna bring this left leg up. And what we're actually gonna do here is we're gonna start to reach this knee up towards this left elbow. And we're gonna kind of crunch these together like this. And we're gonna maintain that throughout. This is gonna immediately start to hike up this left side and create a little bit of compression through that left. Now as we do this, we're gonna actually consciously unhike this right side, which is gonna increase even more pressure into the left. And then from here, we'll do a nice easy breath into the nose. As we exhale, we're going to reinforce this pressure here while also pushing into the wall with the right leg. You might feel some right hamstring kick in, right glute, but you're also going to feel the right side of the back being a little bit more open than usual. Okay, so you do another inhale, exhale, push through the wall, nice and flat position here. Again, keeping this right side unhiked. Good pressure down to the left hip, but the knee and elbow are coming together to feel a little bit more activation through this entire left side, a little bit more expansion through the right. Nice breath in. Exhale, push into the wall while we reinforce this pressure here on the left. All right, so this second exercise is actually a little closer to the wall. And the reason that we're putting this second is because the closer we get to the wall, the more likely we are to actually go up into this tilted position. So as we get close, we just want to monitor to make sure we're not hiking up. If we are, you can back up a little bit. Now from here, we're going to actually learn how to leverage a little bit of compression from this left side to open up this right side. Right foot's going to stay on the wall, left knee's going to come up. You're going to allow that left knee to come up and the left side of the pelvis to actually hike up relative to the right. Now from this position, we're gonna push with the hands to create a little bit of a counter force. You're gonna feel this left side start to activate a little bit. As you do this, I'm gonna actually have you reach a little bit, not only this way, but also up toward the ceiling with that left leg. You're gonna feel some tension here in the left lower quarter. Take a nice easy breath in. You're gonna exhale and not only push the hands against the knee, but also press the foot into the wall through contacts in the inner and outer heel, as well as the base of the big and little toes. Inhale, exhale, and then once again, inhale, exhale. On the inhale, you want to feel both sides of your lower rib cage expanding into the ground, especially that right side, and then exhale, pushing into the wall and creating some tension on that left side. Now here I feel some activation, this entire left lower quarter here, back and front sides of the body. And on the right side, I feel a little bit of opening there as I feel some glute activation on that right side as well. All right, so now this third activity is going to be up and standing with a block under the left foot. That's going to allow us to level the pelvis or even drop the right side slightly below. We're going to also make sure to level off the shoulders. So take a look at the shoulders, make sure those are level. We have the hips level. Now from here, we can shift the weight to the left or the right and then practice bearing weight with the pelvis in a little bit more of a neutral position. So we can start with the left, going over that left side, even maybe allowing that shoulder to dip a little bit. Now we got all that weight on the left foot. While we're in this position, we can gently inhale through the nose. And then as we exhale, we'll push down through this side, but also reach that right side long and away at the same time. We should really feel this left leg engage and feel like we have a good amount of weight over the left side. Then we can switch over to the right side and do the same thing. We're still reaching long through this right side, and we're still in this same position within the pelvis from before. Within the upper body, we can either be square or even slightly dip that right side down as we get a little bit more load onto this right side. Now from here, we're going to do gentle inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, pushing down through that right side so that we can maintain that feeling of expansion and length on this side. Now, just a little note here, when we go to adjust these shoulders, you might find the tendency to have the head go with. What you want to try to achieve is to get the head to actually stay in the midline, so that as the shoulder comes down, that head can stay independently in the center, and same thing on the other side. If you have a bit of an imbalance there, you can just work on that as an isolated skill. And now this last activity, we have a similar concept, a little bit more difficult because we got this leg coming up to about 90 degrees. So from here, we're going to practice reaching the right side of the pelvis down towards the ground to level the pelvis. And then once again, we're going to level the shoulders as well. We got the majority of the weight here through that left knee. We can go into that easy breathing in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And as we're going out through the mouth, we can push that right side down into the ground, trying not to let this right side hike up as we perform that pressure. So nice easy inhale, reaching down with this right side, and then exhale, pressing down but not letting this side hike up. Then we can actually slowly transition to adding a little bit more pressure into the right as that side remains lower. Do a little inhale. Exhale, begin to push down into the ground as though we're going to stand up, but just focus on keeping this right side low and maintaining that pressure, working on achieving that position statically. Then ultimately you can progress this by pushing down to the ground, keeping this low, and standing up to a standing position. All right, so that does it for this video. Once again, you want to think about those 3 planes of motion, find movements that oppose all of those, learn to produce force in that position, and you'll be feeling a whole lot better. And if you want to take this to the next level, go ahead in the description, either take my Breathwork Breakthrough 7-Day Challenge or join the waitlist for Total Body Restoration, a 12-week program where we're going to be working to teach you everything I know about restorative exercise, including posture, breathing, effortless walking, and progressions that'll get you moving and feeling your best. So thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.